Okay, go ahead.
Video is already on.
So to turn the power on, you got to use this
Main switch.
switch right here to on, and then
Wait for everything to boot. It'll come up to this screen. All right. You're going to clear.
slowly.
Flashing yellow. You're going to turn the machine on. You're going to wait for a thump. That lets you know your air is actuated. Now you're going to put this button to make it set the reference points. And the machine will go through its own cycle, check the reference point, zero it out, do its own thing. And you want to turn the heat on. With this machine, you want to let this heat run up to 200 degrees, stay there at its full cycle until it shuts off, and then turn it on again, and then you know your entire glue pot is ready to go.
Show how to change all the settings on the cutters.
You don't change any settings on cutters. You only select the program for the edge you're going to be doing. Regular thin tape is a 1/2 millimeter. Your thicker tape is going to be either a 1 millimeter grain first or second pass.
Go to 1 millimeter grain pass. How do you change that?
I can't, I can show you arrowing
And then
you
you
hit enter, but you
okay.
don't want to do any of this until your glue pot's hot because it's going to
Okay.
try to actuate that. All right. Now, this is a good example. This machine was shut off in 1 millimeter grain second pass, which means it was utilizing the corner rounding units for the leading and trailing edge. If you try to fire this machine in any other program other than that, it won't let you. You have to start in this program, let it go to a green light, then you can switch to another program. Any other program, it's no problem, but if you have been in any of these second pass programs where it's using the corner rounder, you have to restart in that program because it wants to read the sensors on that corner rounding unit. So we're going to use flat veneer for any construction edges because it's going to turn the buffer wheels off. But most of the time, for your normal tape, it's going to be 1/2 millimeter radius. And for all your paintables and your standard TFLs, it's going to be, or your wood tape that's thick, it's going to be 1 millimeter grain first or second pass. So the second pass is only for after you've completed two opposing edges. If you do this and you haven't, it will chip the veneers because you're running that corner rounding unit over a raw edge.
So that simply rounds the outside leading and trailing edge of the edge tape.
Right. There, it rounds those corners.
It's on like focused on there, so you got right up front of the it rounds
These edges right here.
after. It's
So it
the
comes
last
up, hits one,
piece of tape.
and then it runs the next side.
Okay.
But you have to have two edges first, or else when that unit hits, it'll blow the surface off. It'll chip.
I got it zoomed in real close, so yeah. Okay.
So
All right. Cool.
it's on that.
We have to wait for stuff. All right. Go ahead.
So we have gone to one that we get stayed at 200. Now we've turned off. Now we can turn it back on. Let it get to 200, and then we'll be ready to edge band at that. This is your initial warm-up cycle.
I'm started. Go ahead.
Okay, we're going to be putting in a thinner standard tape. That's going to be 0.47 for the thickness, and then the thickness of the panel depth for the pre-mill. Loosen this guy. We'll set this tape at 0.47. And I'm just snug this. You don't have to tighten that hard. We're gonna pull this tape out here. This valve to release the roller tensioner. Then you can feed the tape in. Drop the roller tensioner forward, and you're going to adjust the foot so that the tape will feed easily and it doesn't have a bunch of play in it. So you want to be able to feed that tape in easily. Retension this by just sliding this back.
One more time, the tensioner?
Tensioner right here, that's off, it's on. And you can check by just pulling on it, it's got pressure, push it forward.
Where's
Check.
our guillotine and where do we need to make sure we don't put our hands?
Don't ever put your hands in here. This is a guillotine. This whole unit shoots a blade like that. Check your glue. Got plenty of glue. Make sure that's swinging good because that's what's putting the glue roller pressure on the board itself. Now we're going to get ready to fire this machine up.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so we're going to select a program to run. You're going to be from your main screen. See this F2, push F2, it's the file jacket. And again, like I explained before, we are already on this second pass program. So we're going to start in second pass so that this machine can find its centers. Part of starting that, also, you got to turn the track on. When that light goes green,
Hold on. That light goes green.
this is ready to feed.
Okay.
But again, we're on the wrong program because we had to start on this program because we left off on it. Now we're going to select 0.5 millimeter radius.
And that's 0.5 millimeter tape radius.
Correct. Hit enter. Once the machine spools up to speed, it'll let you know it's safe to feed the machine. Exit that screen. Go back to your main. Now we can feed panels after we turn the dust collector on. Always feed one panel. Make sure it's doing what you want it to. Look at it. Make sure that the cutoffs are in the correct position, which appears that it is. Now you're safe to start running. Alright, so to shut down, if you're going to continue taping, hit the red button. It'll shut the machine down. Shut
Which
your,
red button?
this power
0.
button off. Alright? And then it's going to save your settings. Don't ever go to the back and shut the machine down with the main. You will lose your settings. If you're going to tape again in the near future, you can leave this glue pot on. It'll idle down eventually to 150 degrees. If you're done taping, turn your heat off, and then you won't be burning your glue. So we have this set up. Thickness of this tape is a 0.5 millimeter. A lot of the other tape, and that's where we set on this dial for the pre-mill. A lot of the other tape, this is 0.8 millimeters, or we have wood tapes that are 1 millimeter. Again, you use your calipers to verify the thickness of the tape.
And so we're doing, with this guy here, we're going to change this to match the thickness of the tape then?
Yes, so you're taking off what you're putting back on. This pre-mill will take a little bit of material off the face of the panel. So if it's 0.8, and you're going to take 0.8 off, you're going to put 0.8 right back on. So the panel maintains its size.